This has got the Fix-It Guy with an easy fix for a gas oven that won't heat. We're just going to put a new igniter in. It's actually really easy, probably take you 20 minutes. So we took the door off by pulling it up and out. Some doors don't come off easily, but some you can just bring them out toward an angle and lift them straight off the hinges. So we got the racks out, and then we're going to remove this bottom panel by lifting up in the back about 45 degrees and then pulling it out. Sometimes there's a few screws holding it on in the back, and other times you can just lift it up. And I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the threads that are holding the igniter on, because they're often rusted, and if you don't put a little bit of lubricant, sometimes it'll break the screw. Here is the new igniter. This is kind of a generic one that works for most all ovens. You can get this on Amazon or appliance part stores, probably around $20 to $30. And it does work for most ovens. So I'm going to zip off those two machine screws that are holding on the igniter. And if you feel too much resistance, I wouldn't do this with a drill, but I would just do it by hand so you don't break the screw. So now the igniter's loose, the wire's still connected. In this case, it's a modular connector that can be separated. So I'm going to remove a few screws. Phillips head screws are on this sheet metal case that's hiding the modular connector. A lot of times though, you just have wires that are exposed, and you can cut them with wire cutters, and then you can use wire nuts to connect the igniter. But in this case, since it's a modular connector, I'll just take off this case, and then I'll undo the modular connection, and I'll hook that up with my new igniter. So here's the little sheet metal case comes off, and then there's two plastic connectors that I can separate. I'm going to end up cutting this anyway just because of the way it's routed. It'll be a little bit faster. So now I have the modular connector with its wires. I'm going to strip those. I'm going to cut the wires a little bit shorter on the igniter. You don't have to, you can keep them the same length if you want. It's just, I think it looks a little bit neater. I'm going to take off some of the insulation, and then I'll take these ceramic wire nuts and I'll hook up the two wires together and get the wire nut really tight. Don't worry about which wire goes to which, as long as you take one igniter from the modular connector and one from the igniter and hook them together. That'll be fine. You can, it doesn't matter which one. So now I've got it back into position, just feeding the modular connector through to the other side, and then I'll hook it up, and that'll bring power to the igniter, and then I just have to just screw the igniter back into position. It's a pretty fast repair. This will cure the problem of slow heating with an oven, or no heating, or uneven heating, which is pretty common as the igniters wear out. So we're just putting that little sheet metal box back on with the two Phillips head screws. We've already got the modular connector back, and I need to put the igniter back into position. Just getting that box on there correctly. Zip in the two screws. And I'll put my 1/4 inch driver on the drill, and I'll put the little 1/4 inch machine screws through the igniter and then back onto the Venturi tube bracket. And once they're on there tight, we can go ahead and give it a test. It should take about probably 45 seconds or less for the igniter to light the gas, and then you want to see a nice blue flame coming out of all the little holes, all the little jets on the venturi tube. So on this model, we just turn the dial here. Gotta make sure you have it plugged back in, or turn the breaker back on. Start to get a little glow. There we go. Getting hotter. Here we have a nice blue flame, good ignition. And we're going to turn it back off, put these pieces back. We'll put the bottom panel back in at about 45 degrees, put the front edge in first, and then just let the back set down. Put the racks back in. And now we're going to go ahead and put the door back onto its hinges, which is pretty easy. Just slide it back on. I usually hold on to the handle and kind of rest it against my leg so I can get the angle right. Just slide it back on the hinges and then close it up. And that did the trick. So I hope this has been easy and helpful for you. And please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance. Thanks for watching.